Day 5. Quick update. Day 5. Finally made my July 2026 Moleskine. I got the dotted grid this time, which is I'm happy about. Didn't make that mistake twice. And I've started with this. This is the journal habit tracker / journal tracker, where you have the days, month, and then the days down the side, and then a quick note about what you did in that day, and then a series of habits. So I have here that you then check off at the end of each day, and a mood. The person that took this video, made this video, Australian guy, he has a wristwatch that tracks sleep. I don't have that. So he's tracking hours of sleep and then sleep score, which is really fascinating. Maybe sometime in the future I'd like to do that. I've got a mood tracker. The habits I'm tracking are: have I eaten breakfast? Have I eaten healthy? Did I exercise? Have I prayed? Have I practiced yoga? Have I meditated in the morning and in the evening? So meditation A and B. Doesn't have to be morning, evening, ideally, but if I get 2 in, then that's great. And have I read? Beyond that, have I flossed teeth and have I moisturized? Have I shadow boxed for 10 minutes? Have I engaged in a new experience? Have I recorded a video journal entry? And did I wake up between 6 and 7 a.m. or I guess pre-7 a.m. wake up? I've recorded back to the, what would this be? The 4th, because I can remember the record video journal. And I've gone good, between good and excellent, and then up to excellent. And the mood is going from the bottom: awful, bad, okay, good, excellent, divine. I think divine is when it's like I feel like I was just so in flow for the entire day, or I've had some kind of experience that has some kind of expansion of my consciousness that has been triggered by whatever, a lot of practice, some kind of experience where I just feel like everything else in the day, no matter what happened, no matter what's going on in my life situation, I'm just awash with joy and love. So I'm really excited about this. This is really good for me. I think this is gonna be really great. It's gonna be really good. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep filling these up page after page. And I'm going to do what I like to do. I'm gonna flip the book and then upside down start doing journal entries for each day at the end of the day, or whenever I feel like writing in the journal. So this will be like a pretty structured text as far as I can tell. I think I'm really liking that I've taped it. I have so many of these. I have literally probably 10 of them, and I need to start doing this more because it's gonna help a lot. Now, this is the fifth video. I haven't uploaded anything to YouTube yet. I'm still not sure if I'm going to. Maybe that's something that I should aim to do. And I'll just upload all of these at once. How I'll name them, I'm not sure. I was going to film my shadow box, which is super abnormal for me in the sense that would, like, I'm gonna go up onto the hill. Firstly, I'm going up onto Monument Hill. I'm gonna shadow box for 10 minutes in public, which is pretty, for me, that's not gonna be very comfortable, but I'm gonna go do it. I don't mind doing things in public. I don't mind working out in public. I don't like going down to the park and doing yoga and doing push-ups and sit-ups and stuff. That's fine, but shadowboxing is awkward because it's like, who are you trying to be? You know, who are you trying to be? So I need to get over that because I want to shadowbox more. And then the other thing is, because I'm not very proficient at shadowboxing, I don't feel super comfortable with it, and I don't feel like I have a good flow. That's also that I just need to go, and I don't want to do it in front of people. I don't actually even really want to do it unless I'm good at it, which is a personal trait that comes up in my life a little bit. So there's a few things I'm trying to overcome by doing that in particular. I probably won't film that. Maybe I will. I think it will be useful because I'll get to see what I look like, and as a visual learner, I think that as someone that learns well from visual feedback, I think I can kind of adjust What I'm going to do now, though, instead, is I'm just going to read a chapter from Only Love, or at least a portion of a chapter from Only Love. And I might do this a few times. There was a passage that I read, I think 2 days ago. Yeah, do avatars have karma? And it was about, to some extent, of course, karma, but there's some commentary on reincarnation, and it's fascinating. You might find it fascinating. If this is what you're here for, because it's in the title or something, we're going to get into it. So, page 210 of Only Love by Sri Dayamata of the Self-Realization Fellowship. Our oneness in God. Condensation of talk on opening night of Self-Realization Fellowship in 1975 at their convocation, which I guess is like a vocational convention maybe, in Los Angeles, California, July 25, a day after my birthday, but 18 years earlier. Or I'm not great at math anyway. How nice it is to see so many devotees gathered here from all parts of the world on this very special day. These convocations are held every 5 years, and many of you were here on the occasion of our golden anniversary convocation in 1970. Now we honour the 55th year of the founding of Gurudeva Paramahansa Yogananda's work here in the West. She goes on essentially to talk about what they're going to do over the next couple of days. I've underlined the search for God, as you know, is an individual pursuit. That's true. The idea is spoken about here where she says, I don't have much conviction in this. You're witnessing in real time my self-doubt. As to whether or not this is somehow entertaining for whoever's watching this video, but no, like, who's gonna watch this video? So I'm just gonna settle back in here and I'm gonna restart where I was, because I trust that the content, I'm reading it because I decided to read this because on the whole the content meant something to me and I want to share it. She continues, these next 10 days will be filled with much activity, and of course our heartfelt wish, our prayer, is that they may be filled with great inspiration for all of you. The search for God, as you know, is an individual pursuit. No one else can give us God, any more than someone else can drink water for us when we are thirsting. Guruji used to say that if you are thirsty, just reading about water or hearing eloquent sermons about it will not satisfy you. It is only when you go to the well and drink deep of its cool, refreshing water that your thirst is completely satisfied. So in the same way, we can speak through endless aeons about God. We can read countless sermons about God, but they will never be able to quench the inner drought of our souls. Only one thing can satisfy our yearning, can fulfill our need, and that is to experience the love of God. So we begin the convocation with that thought as our supreme goal. This day is set aside annually by Self-Realization Fellowship to honour Mahavata Babaji. Therefore, it is fitting on this occasion to speak of his mission in the world. It was he who chose Guruji many, many years ago in India and sent him to the West with a message as old as the ages, yet still vibrantly new and stirring today in its import for mankind. Truth is eternal. It isn't the possession of any one era, group of people, nationality, or religious body. It belongs to all mankind. It is truth eternal, nurtured in India, that Babaji intended to spread throughout the world when he wisely chose for the task his beloved Yogananda, whose life so purely reflected divinity. Thus, Paramahansa Yogananda brought to us these great teachings of self-realization. and Babaji's unique gift to the world, Kriya Yoga. Paramahansaji's appeal to mankind is, "My children, there is a God. You have read your various scriptures in all the world religions, wherein are recorded the divine experiences of God realization. But this isn't enough. You must make truth your own, and Kriya is the way." It was in India that techniques of concentration and meditation for realizing God were first discovered. And now, as Guruji predicted back in 1934, India's science of meditation is sweeping the Western world. There is a story told in India which illustrates that no one has a monopoly on truth. 6 boys, blind since birth, were washing their father's elephant. One was washing the tail. He concluded that the elephant was like a rope. Another was washing the legs. He described the elephant as being like 4 pillars. The third son said, "You are both wrong. The elephant is like 2 fans that swing back and forth." He had been washing the ears. Another said, "No, the elephant is like a vast wall." He had been washing the animal's sides. The 5th son had been washing the elephant's tusks. He was convinced that the elephant was just a couple of bones. Finally, the last of the blind boys said, "I must tell you that you're all wrong. The elephant is like a heavy snake." He had been washing the trunk. The argument continued, each boy sure that he knew the truth as to what the elephant was like. The father saw his children fighting and asked him what the trouble was. They explained and appealed to him. "Which of us is right?" The father answered, "Well, my dear sons, you are all right and you are all wrong as well. You see, the elephant is not like one, rather. You see, the elephant is like not one, but all of these various things you have described. You have not taken into consideration that each one is only part of the whole elephant. It is the same with truth. No religion has a monopoly on truth. All contains something of eternal veracity. When we go beyond the barriers of sectarian beliefs and sit quietly in meditation, churning the ether with our thought, my God, my God, my God, reveal thyself, and silently plunge deeper and deeper into the well of inspiration and truth hidden within the soul, we begin to perceive what God is. Then we spontaneously honor him in all religions and feel respect for every sincere teacher. We know our God to be the God of all mankind, and that the multifarious expressions of truth are a part of the whole. Through this realization, we come also to a deeper understanding of our fellow man. Couldn't argue against it. I find that really moving. I found the parable about the elephant really enlightening as I reflect on some of the experiences that I've been through over the last year, where I've had some relationship breakdowns, friendship-based relationship breakdowns that have been really hard for me to deal with and process, particularly because I don't feel like my version of events has been heard adequately, validated, and in fact it's been invalidated by someone, which was quite painful. And I also think that what has been talked about has not been truthful. Doesn't reflect my truth. And I think what I connect to the elephant parable, how I connect to the elephant parable is I am one of the boys washing the elephant, as is the person that shared their views with me, as is the person that has told them their side of the story. There's a third party involved. and who has acted a bit as a conduit between the other person and myself. And it was during that conversation that that was a difficult conversation for me. It's a conversation that I felt stole a lot of my voice, and yes, painful. We can unpack that at some stage perhaps, but I suppose I like that because it just gives me perspective. It reminds me that I'm no more right than they are right, and I'm also no more wrong than they are wrong. You know, like, I think that to a degree, I think that there are definitely mistruths that have been shared by the other side, and I have tried not to lie, and I have tried not to cast the situation in any. I think I have done my best to not colour the situation with a perspective that is really beneficial to me. I don't know, I don't feel like it's been the same. I don't think it's been the same in reverse. But I suppose what really moves me is that nothing is necessarily going to change. You know, I can open my perspective as much as possible, but I've also just experienced my truth, and that truth is embedded in me just purely because I've only seen this set of circumstances from my perspective, and I can only really speak to that. And I can empathize with the person on the other end, and I can empathize with the person that came to talk to me, and I can forgive them because they're in the same position as me, which is a incomplete and imperfect position. And it's only, you know, they have their truth and this other person has their truth and I have my truth, and it's each of those perspectives are fragments of a whole, and it's only the arguing between the boys, it's only the arguing between us, it's only conflict, right? It's only non-acceptance of the other person's point of view that is causing me suffering. I know what has happened, they know what has happened. I think they've spoken I don't think I've spoken poorly about them, or I suppose from my perspective, I really feel as though there are significant, meaningful fabrications from this other person's side of the story, because of how horrible for me, the circumstances I found myself in were so horrible. I think they actually behaved so horribly towards me that they've fabricated a justification for why they behave that way, when I think that maybe they were just a bit mentally unwell and have a hard time communicating as a baseline. And that's not to say that I'm not accountable for my behavior at the time. There are certain things that I wish I had done differently and I would do differently now, and it's really reshaped my approach to friendships, and it's reshaped my approach to relationships as well. And it's also reshaped, though positively, the kind of people that I would like to invite into my life, because I know now as well that these people are not at all the type of people that I want to interact with, and they're fine, great people, but I don't feel a need to seek friendship with them anymore. I try my hardest to forgive them as much as I can forgive myself, knowing that I could never forgive myself for the things that contributed to that circumstance any more than I would be able to forgive them. I have to be able to forgive them in order for me to forgive myself, I think. And so I guess the elephant story is fascinating. I think the elephant story as well. I mean, going on to talk about the fact that there's no, or prior to talking about the fact that there's no, no sectarian belief system, no religion, no person has ownership over truth is amazing. I think that all religions, all spiritualities, all worldviews, when boiled down to their core tenets and values that they began with, I think, the closer you get to the source of those beliefs, the closer you recognize the true beauty and purity and intention behind those beliefs. And then it's just people adding on layers and layers of rules and conditions and manipulations in order to, derive a nefarious outcome, control through religion, Islam, Catholicism, you name it, Hinduism. What's the caste system going? I get the caste system maybe is a little bit different because of reincarnation. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, get the point. Hopefully, essentially, I love that message that as much as each of us as unique people are divine, so are each of the unique belief systems that have stemmed from humans. Even they all lead to the same thing. Even science as a framework for understanding the world is divine in nature, I think. Yeah, it's beautiful. And it is so much the case that in my very limited experience, it is the self-realization, it's the inward work where I have seen within myself this divine quality that I don't take ownership over as Sam, but I acknowledge as both me and everything else. I can have had experiences perceiving this internal divine quality. And what's beautiful is I suppose no one can take that away from me. I had one day, there's good stories. But we're 23 minutes, we're already 23 minutes. I really think I wanted to talk a little bit more. I mean, there's comments here. Let's say, I cannot conceive of a Jesus Christ, a Lord Krishna, or the rishis of old calling a man a Christian, a Hindu, a Jew, and so forth. I can conceive of them calling every man my brother and every woman my sister. Trying to think of a non-binary version of that. Not ironically, there will be no new order built on contempt of other races or on a chosen people complex. I'm not going to make a comment on that. Right, so, Bhagavan Krishna, Lord Buddha, Jesus Christ, Muhammad. They don't say Muhammad here, but Muhammad. I'm gonna just throw Muhammad in there. I don't know much about the Quran and Islam, but I do have this here, which I'm hoping to read at some stage, from my friend Rose. If they met, there would be no quarreling among them, because they drink from the same fountain of truth. They are one in God. He is manifest in all of them. It is the misdirected enthusiasm of small-minded disciples that cause the division. I mean, I'm reading that and making it out as if like, wow, what I've just said before is true. But I've literally read this. Nothing. It's there. It's here. I'm not coming up with any of this stuff. Taking the best ideals and qualities of all people and making them our own. Beautiful. You know, and I think to the roles that we each have in society, and it says here, this book says here, as the businessman tries to alleviate the suffering of others by providing some need, as every man is an agent of God for doing some good on earth. You know, like, people don't need to be saved. People don't need to be saved. People are doing their thing. People are doing their thing. People are playing their role. I believe people are inherently good. I suppose, who needs to be saved? Does someone need to be saved? We all need to be saved. But we can only save ourselves. The decisions we make on behalf of God. So it's not as if there's going to be some kind of God that comes down and saves you, like picks you up out of the earth and goes, oh, okay, here you go. It's that you need to find within yourself connection to and will to act in a way that is divine, aligned with divinity. And you do that in whatever manner you're called to. And I firmly believe that that manner may involve being an atheist or being agnostic. We're all kind of part of this ecosystem. So it's not as though like my process, my life is my own. My life belongs to everyone. My life belongs to the universe and to God and to my fellow humans. And it's not like my pursuit of enlightenment is for my own means. Like I want my soul, my identity, like Sam after death, to end up in heaven. That's not at all what is being pursued here. It's the fact that I feel a deep knowing that my soul is connected to all other souls in the universe, and that the pursuit of deepening my awareness of my soul leads me closer to divine truth and source and creation, and that pursuing that depth is going to have a net positive on myself, the world, and consciousness. And I mean, what do you like? Why else? For me personally, why else am I here? Why else is anyone here? That's, to me, I think, the purpose in life. And I'm called to it in a certain way. I'm not a monk. I'm not like you know what I mean? Like there's like, I'm like right in the middle. I'm on the top of the spectrum. It's like ascetic monks over here, and there's people that don't believe in God at all over here. But it's not even a spectrum. They're not opposing. These two people actually meet at the bottom. People that deeply believe in God, people that don't believe in God at all, are literally right next to each other. They are as close to, they could not be closer to one another. So it's a circle. Anyway, that's video 5, and I hope you have a great day. I'm gonna finish a little bit of food, and I'm going to go for a run, and I'm gonna go and do that shadow boxing thing. I love you, and be well. I'll see you soon. Mwah.